What's up, YouTube? This is CJ.
And Sarah.
It's a Wednesday. That means it's time for another Keto
Conversation.
So let's get started. Alright, so this week we wanted to talk about just some trends, I guess, that we've been seeing and things we've been reading about. And I guess I'm going to start, and then Sarah, you just fill in the blanks. So one of the things I always said about keto when we started our channel is that, especially once I started seeing the results from keto and the keto lifestyle, I said, wow, this is going to really be big and it's going to catch on and spread like wildfire. And I always told Sarah, I said, all we need is some big Hollywood stars or something to kind of
say they practice
keto, and then it would get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so that's starting to happen. From my perspective, I'm seeing it more and more. Yesterday I was at Walmart at the checkout, and there was one of the
Women's First magazine.
Yeah, Women's First magazine, and it said something like Keto Rapid.
I think it was Turbo Keto.
Turbo Keto. Yeah, Turbo Keto. 9 weeks to lose 21 pounds or something to that effect. I actually took a picture of it. And it kind of made me smile a little bit because what I kind of predicted is starting to kind of take place. Another thing that's kind of interesting that I saw a couple of weeks ago is a friend of mine sent me something off of Facebook about these folks who had gone on the Shark Tank TV show. And they had some kind of pill. I think, now I did some research because I have to admit I didn't see the show. I don't watch Shark Tank. I don't watch much TV at all. So I did not see the show. But just doing some research, I believe the product that they had was called Ketone Diet. And it's a pill. And I think the idea behind the pill is that it will actually help you get into ketosis and burn fat. And you can pretty much, now I hope, and again, I have to say, I don't have one of the pills, never used the pills, but I hope that if it's making these claims that they're saying that you have to do it with the ketogenic diet.
Yeah,
I don't think those
are not the claims, according to what I've read.
Okay, I don't think that's what the claims are, because I've also done some research, and there's a lot of other pills that are on the market, and people taking advantage of keto, and how keto is just spreading like wildfire. All over the land, or probably all over the world in some instances.
And so people want to get in on the craze of producing extra ketones without having to follow the ketogenic diet.
Right.
So that's basically the gist of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, right. People are looking for shortcuts.
Yes.
And which has always been kind of the way humans are. We've always looked for them. Oh, wow, I can't say the magic pill because there was a keto video about the magic pill, but yeah. we have always looked for a magic pill.
Like I was telling CJ earlier tonight, I don't know how many of you remember Olestra, but Olestra was this synthetic fat that they put in potato chips so that people could still eat potato chips, but this synthetic fat would pass straight through you, and so they were still having these chips, but then there started to be all kinds of recalls because this synthetic fat made people ill. So it seems like throughout time and history, people have always wanted a quick fix for the popular things.
Yes.
Like they want the benefits of a low-carb diet or the ketogenic diet without actually having to eat said diet.
Right. And so again, one of the things that I've predicted would always happen is that as it gets more and more popular, then you'll see more and more instances like this, more and more products. Because when I went out trying to find this product that was on Shark Tank, I came across probably at least 10 or 15 other products that are
geared toward
keto.
Well, I'm sure if you got on Amazon or somewhere, just looked at
supposedly producing ketones. You know, I have to even say that we have even had on our blog a product called Perfect Keto.
Which is exogenous ketones.
Right, which is exogenous ketones. And I have used that product. And from my experience with that product, what I have found that the exogenous ketones do for me is they do seem like they give you more energy and more focus. I have not noticed any increase
weight loss
of
benefit
weight loss or anything to that effect, but I did notice those benefits. They also make a powdered MCT version of the Perfect Keto, folks, and that I've never used it, but that's supposedly to be really good and convenient because it's powder versus.
And realistically, there's a time and a place for such supplements. Maybe you are an 80-year-old man with pre-dementia or Alzheimer's, and you want to reap the benefits of the ketogenic diet or having more ketones within your bloodstream. But realistically, because of your age and your mental abilities, you may not be able to follow a ketogenic diet. Or, a child with epilepsy, it might be beneficial for them to have extra exogenous ketones because following a strict ketogenic diet may be a little bit more difficult for someone with a certain disability. But for the general public who has the ability to follow a ketogenic diet, maybe it's not ideal.
Right.
Because I'm sure there are side effects, not least withstanding cost.
Yeah, I don't know. I've used the product. I don't recall of any side effects. I have not used it consistently.
Right.
Because one of the issues with that is, again, the cost. And every time I purchased it, it was always on sale, a very good sale, but it's pretty expensive. The results that I saw, they weren't worth necessarily the cost, benefit ratio wasn't enough to keep.
Well, I know that the articles that I have read just in the last couple of days, they were taken from Men's Health Journal and Men's Health Magazine. And they were talking about how researchers are developing a pill that helps you lose weight and let you still eat the carbs. So throughout their research, they have realized that, I guess a lot of the research was at the University of Berkeley in California. And a lot of the researchers stated that in mice studies, at least, mice who followed a 90% high-fat diet, low carbohydrate, no sugar, seemed to live a longer lifespan and be overall leaner and more healthy. They don't know how that correlates to human beings, of course, and in their mind, and I'm directly quoting this professor where, in his opinion, he feels that we, as human beings, cannot stick to the ketogenic lifestyle long term. That's his opinion as a researcher. And that may be true. All I know is that I've personally been on the ketogenic diet for 2 years and I have not had any problems. I don't know what it'll be like in 20 years, if I'll be able to go that long. I mean, this type of lifestyle is relatively new. A lot of people have followed a low carb lifestyle, but not necessarily the ketogenic lifestyle for decades.
Sure.
But it's not impossible. They're making it sound like, unicorns and rainbows, like you can't. That it's absolutely not possible.
But we are both proof that you can do keto as a lifestyle.
Right. Reap the benefits. Weight loss, reversal of diabetes, those kind of things without using a pill or a powder.
Right.
But,
exactly.
And maybe if it's the difference between someone not having the benefits of ketones and just taking a pill versus being morbidly obese and perhaps developing a chronic disease, then maybe it's the lesser of the two evils.
I don't know. I mean, the pills the one that you are referencing there from the folks at UC Berkeley, that doesn't even exist.
No.
Number one, it doesn't exist. It's something that they're working on. A lot of these other pills that do exist, jury's still out as far as how effective they are, what the side effects are. But from our perspective, we don't think that there's a shortcut for the keto lifestyle.
Right. And it did not say whether these pills were just going to be marketed like Perfect Keto with a private contractor, or if they were going to try and be sold to big pharma. That makes a big difference in availability and cost and side effects as well. We just don't know.
Yeah, and I will say, as far as, because we've talked about the company Perfect Keto. Again, I have used some of their products and found that their products are good, but I don't feel like I have to use their products all the time to.
Well, and I listened to his podcast, the creator.
Right.
And,
that's where I was going. I was actually
he follows the ketogenic lifestyle.
Ketogenic diet.
And he's not constantly pushing his product when he has people on his podcast and when he's delivering information, he believes in his product, of course.
Yes.
But he does not feel like it's for everyone.
Right.
So even he realizes it has its limitations.
I did want to make that clear because we specifically talked about the perfect keto product. We don't have anything against the perfect keto product.
No.
In fact, again, we've used it. We've had it on our site.
And we eat, other ketogenic products that are marketed for the ketogenic lifestyle. We're not in any way against that.
Right. We're talking about these so-called pills or magic pills that are coming out that people are trying to create and develop so that, again...
Without changing their lifestyle.
Exactly. So that people can then take these pills and because basically the message is you don't have to change your lifestyle. You just take these pills and you'll reap the same benefits as these folks that are doing keto.
So you never unlearn bad habits. You never unlearn undesirable foods and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do know that there was this study that was done, and a lot of channels have done this, and we have not read the study. How there was a study about the low carb lifestyle and life expectancy. Mm-hmm. We'll probably find that and read it and kind of.
That's been a really hot topic lately.
We'll probably look at that for ourselves and then maybe talk about that on the Keto Conversations. But again, we're just, I guess part of the message here is, again, keto is exploding. I mean, it's all over the place. I had a friend at work. She was telling me that her son, I think her son maybe like 23 or 24. His fiance is probably around the same age. And they were talking to her about keto.
Well, my son's girlfriend has been having all kinds of gastrointestinal issues, and she has for years. Mm-hmm. And she was asking me all about keto on Sunday when we were together, because she's really interested. I told her, well, she might have a gluten sensitivity, and if you're going to go no gluten, you might as well go all the way to keto. So and she's 21.
Yeah, so keto has exploded on the scene. And I know even on our Instagram following, I think our demographics are pretty young. Mm-hmm. The age group is pretty young, and there's a lot of interest in the keto diet, and I guess part of the message here as well is don't get caught up in all the hype,
quick fixes,
and the quick fixes, right?
Because even the ketogenic lifestyle itself, we've discussed in the past how a lot of you might see a lot of really quick benefits right as you begin the ketogenic diet, but then a lot more of your benefits are cumulative over years. And so you can't always be looking for a quick fix or think that something's not working just because you don't lose 80 pounds in 2 months. Right.
Right. And one of the things that I am concerned about is as more and more people come to keto and there's more and more products on, that then keto starts to get a bad name.
Right, or its core foundations start to become diluted.
Right, the core foundations become diluted. And that's just something that, I think it's just part of the evolution of anything. Mm-hmm. Is that as the masses start to get more and more involved with it, then of course there's always people looking to make money, which is fine. But then there's always people then there's a tendency for things to get diluted and to get changed.
Quick fixes.
Because people say, well, why do I need to cut out my carbs?
Yeah, when I can pop a pill and I can sit down and eat that big bowl of pasta. And
the thing about keto is if you read a lot of the foundational information, there is flexibility in how you do keto.
Especially after you become fat adapted after a significant amount of time. It's a little easier for your body to switch back and forth between glucose and ketones if that is what you're interested in. Right. But like I said, that takes time. It's depending on how metabolically challenged you are and have been, if you have any other ongoing chronic health conditions. So there's lots of factors in that. Right.
So I guess our message today with this Keto Conversations is to probably goes back to some of our regular message is just keep your keto simple.
Yeah. It's like the difference between butter and margarine. You know what's real.
Yeah. Keep keto simple. Follow the basic tenets of keto.
Keep your keto simple.
Yeah, you don't have to make it difficult, and just watch out for all the noise, because there's going to be a lot more noise as time continues to go on. There'll be a lot more noise in the keto space, and a lot of people
on the news, you know.
Exactly. And
Magazine.
I wouldn't be surprised if you start hearing even more and more negative news about keto, because in some ways keto, there's a lot of industries that are impacted by low carb and telling people to stay away from sugars and to keep your carbs low. There's a lot of industry and a lot of money behind those industries that's not really.
And a lot of these studies that end up in magazines, on the news, and other places like that are studies that were backed by some of these big companies that don't want to lose out on the dollars that eating a high carb, high sugar lifestyle affords. And
I would also say be careful even with products that you see, because I saw something yesterday. I went to Costco, it was 2 days ago, and there was someone who had a cauliflower pizza. It was a frozen cauliflower pizza, and I had seen other people in the store with it before, but I've never gone and looked at them myself. So I actually asked the people yesterday, or whenever it was, I said, "Hey, can I look at your box?" And I said, "That's kind of weird, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm right here with you. I just want to read."
Right.
And it was interesting that this cauliflower pizza, and I didn't look at the serving size. Now that I think about it, maybe the serving size was the whole pizza. I don't think so. It was 27 carbs per serving.
Wow.
Okay, and this was a cauliflower crusted pizza. So I don't know. So
maybe it had wheat and cauliflower.
I don't know. I'm just in the checkout looking at somebody's box and trying not to be weird about it.
Yeah.
And I turned the box over and I just said thank you. And then I heard the guy's wife say something like, "Well, that is a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because of," and then he said, "Well, I wonder if it's because of the pepper." I said, "There ain't that many carbs in pepper. That's 27 grams." And then I just walked away.
Yeah.
So the message there is there's more and more foods that are being geared toward people that are doing keto and low carb, but you got to watch that stuff as well.
You do. And like you said, you got to watch the serving size.
Yep.
Like we talked about last week, even, you got to make sure that your serving for sausage is the whole sausage, and not like a third of the sausage.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
definitely.
So,
read your labels, because again, there's more and more products that are being put out toward people who are on keto and doing keto. They might even say keto.
Because they don't want to lose out on that money.
Right.
That marketing money.
You still need to read the labels. You need to look at the ingredients, because there is just all kinds of stuff. Again, that pizza was just one example. I had seen that pizza before, never looked at it, never bought one, but I was shocked to see that a serving size for the carbs was 27
Well, if that was
grams of
one
carbs.
piece, that's the same as a piece of regular pizza.
Yes, exactly. And so here people are thinking, well, I'm doing a good thing.
Right. I'm buying a vegetable
I'm buying
pizza
a healthy
here.
alternative.
Right.
And you still, if it was one slice of pizza was a serving, you still got 27 grams of carbs in one slice of pizza. Anyway, I may go and look at that and take a picture of that pizza.
And we'll link these articles that we got our inspiration from, as far as these new ketogenic pills that they're trying to research and market.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're new to our channel, this is our Keto Conversation segment that we do every Wednesday. We do new recipes on Sunday. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. We'd love to hear from you in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. And we appreciate you being here. So thanks for watching CJ's Keto Kitchen. Peace. Bye-bye.